Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful Monday with us on Live with Lloyd. I am your host, astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn. As you see, will be joining us. And in fact, she's just joined us, the beautiful Queen Afua, who is here. As you know, I've had this past Wednesday, last Wednesday, Iyanla Van Zant. And so I have my other favorite lady, and they both number fours, which is interesting, believe it or not. And let me see something here. Okay, everybody, thank you very much for joining us. Before I bring Queen Afua on, let me talk to you about the cosmic forecast for today. It's Monday the 27th. So as you know, we have the show on Wednesday the 1st. It's going to be a brand new month of March, believe it or not already. The sun is in Pisces, the moon is in Gemini. It's a 9 universal day. Month. It's a 4 universal week, a 9 universal day. That is, in fact, but if you are an Aries or Scorpio or Leo like Queen Afua, or if you're born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th, this is your time. So without further ado, let me bring Queen Afua up. Queen Afua, how are you?
I'm doing excellent. And how are you doing, my divine brother,
Right, you look
Reflection?
so beautiful. You look so beautiful. Look at you. Don't hurt nobody, okay?
Okay, I'll do my best. I'm not going to hurt anybody. That's that old school talk.
You best to believe it, and we got it like that. Queen of Four, how you been? You got so many things coming up. I think you met with a group of doctors this afternoon. You got a
Yeah.
detox coming up, a 21-day
hmm
detox coming up. Tell us about that.
Well, the 21-day detox. And so thank you so much for being a part of that. And I didn't know Jonathan Sound was a four.
Yeah, she's born on the 13th,
Whoa. Both of
and
us are
you
the
are
13th.
born on when?
Huh?
And you're born on the
August
13th.
13th.
That's what I'm saying. You're just a
Wow.
month apart.
Okay, that is my soul sister.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She spoke
Sure.
very highly about you the other day too. You
Thank
know.
you.
So
Well, we're coming to our spring 21-day spring equinox detox, and this is our opportunity to have a spring cleaning. What are we cleaning? We're not just cleaning our bedspreads and putting new curtains up and mopping the house through, but we're cleaning up our body temples. We're cleaning out our bloodstream in 21 days, so the pressure that is high may go down. We're cleaning out our colon. So if we have any impaction in our colon from emotional eating, we're clearing that out. We're clearing out our nervous system, and rejuvenating, so we're not feeling stressed and anxious. We're cleaning out our skin. We're cleaning our skin from inside out. So if those are suffering from skin issues due to stress, you're going to clean out your inner body so that your skin will reflect the well-being. You're clearing out your mind from toxic thinking, negative thinking, and you're
well,
being rejuvenated. You're going to be there and giving them their numbers and giving them educated on
I
the
certainly
power of
am.
numbers. For that's information is rejuvenation.
Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to show the poster. This is it. You begin on March the 30th through April 27th, I do believe.
Yes, yes, yes. Actually, yes. We're actually preparing now. It's going to be starting the 30th, and it's going to be 21 days. We'll be meeting every Thursday. And every Thursday, and so right now everyone is preparing. So this is in the preparing time. And the more prepared you are, the better and more effective your detox will be. So we'll be meeting on Thursdays, and it's going to be broken up into 3 parts. Every Thursday, it's about 2 hours. Excuse me, all sounds. It's about 2 hours, and so I open the way and I talk about 7 kitchens of consciousness. My specialty is food is medicine, and how to set up that kitchen lab. So whatever you have, high blood pressure, diabetes, or prostate issues, the foods, the juices, the herbs, the soups, the salads, all of that, you can heal yourself. And then we'll have a guest every week. We'll have 2 supernatural guests, and they're going to be doing powerhouse keynotes.
Are
We
these
and
going to be some of the guests that you're having?
Oh, yes. We have Dr. Michael Beckwood from Agape. He's going to be coming to give me a charge. And I spoke to him yesterday. I came to his service, and he had me to do the closing of the service that was over the top. And what's going to be so great? He said, so my topic for the 21 day, I said metaphysics, quantum physics, and tie that into detoxification through our mind, our consciousness, that we can actually see our purpose and moving and walk and living through it. So he's going to be talking on that level. We have Erica Badu. She's as we all know her, but she made it clear. She called, she said, listen, I'm an energy healer. I said, I know you are, because how you, the audience, you put all the energies up when you come and you sing and you heal them in that way. But she's also a doula, and she's a serious healer. You know, she's brought, this is her way of life as well. She's going to share. Dr. Bernie Sheridan, she's going to be sharing she's a family physician. So she's going to be
Uh-huh.
talking about the importance of healing us. And we have all these, and of course, you and Queen Esther, they're going to be getting their number education. And Queen Esther is going to be speaking of the light of the moon and how that impacts our emotional being. And we have all these wonderful, wonderful vegan chefs. Aris, 40 years, master live food vegan chef. He's going to be teaching food is medicine, but he's going to give us some healthy, delicious, live, sun cooked recipes. Along with, we have Laura Vanderpool. She's going to be doing fine dining. She's that's what her mastery is. And then we have Amira. She's going to be doing food alchemists and organic Sandra Lee, organic flavor. So you're going to be able to eat the foods and learn how to prepare. We're going to send recipes out to everyone before so they can go shopping for the food and be right there with the chef and cut and dice and chopping, and we'll be able to eat together. So that's going to be a wonderful experience. And you have yoga, so we'll be doing some movements and some meditation and breath work with Master Yogini. And Erica Ford has been with us through so many detoxifications, and her work is peace is a lifestyle. And we know she really brought down the gun violence in the urban cities. She set
Yeah.
that tone. So, you know, when we take care of ourselves, we actually don't cause violence to ourselves, and our community becomes healthier. And so our longevity is connected to our mental and emotional well-being. We have Angela Rye. She's a political activist showing us the importance of how food connects to our political power. And that is messy. And we have
That's
Supernova Islam.
interesting.
He
That's
can, so it's
interesting.
just, he's talking on Man Healed by. So we have a plethora, all of these healers. This is the first time ever anything like this has happened. But these are all my friends. These are the ones who have supported me over the years, and I have supported them, you being one of them. And so I just called, I said, listen, I need y'all to support in this time now. We need everybody to come together collectively
Yep.
and give their
Yep.
message of the medicine that we all need to heal ourselves. So all that, along with getting the detox kit and getting the food preparation, all of this together is going to empower us on a mass level.
Let me ask you this question.
Mhm.
What is the magic about fasting?
Say
Because
that again.
what is the magic about fasting? In other words,
Oh.
because sometimes people think when you're fasting, you're starving yourself, but actually you are actually energizing and healing and detoxing the body at the same time. Can you
Oh,
explain that to some people who
yes.
may not
Well, I
know?
just want to be clear. Everyone won't be fasting. Some will be on a fast. Some will
Hmm.
do a total 21 day or 7 day. Some will be on live foods for 7 or 21 days. Some will be on cooked foods, but vegetarian plant based. And some who are just starting out, they may have some fish incorporated into it, and then they'll incorporate healthy living. So there are 4 different levels, so everyone can be included. But if you're going to do a fast, you that is so powerful, because everybody's going to fast at 6 o'clock. Everybody have their final meal at 6 o'clock, from 6 o'clock at night until 6 o'clock the next day. I'm asking everybody to fast during that time, no matter what level they're on. And what does fasting do? Fasting brings about clarity. Fasting also, it speeds up your recovery, and it draws to you whatever you're asking, whatever your prayer request is, whatever your affirmation has been, because it's all energy and frequency. So when you fast and you start to liquefy and having therapeutic fasting, we're taking vegetable juices to repair organs, liquid fruit juices to flush out and cleanse, your herbal tonics and the healing medicine, all of that, your energy level is going to go all the way to the roof. And what happens when you have taken your frequency to a high level and then you call what you need, it's a magnet, comes you quicker. But when you're clogged up and you're bogged down for a lot of heavy foods and junk and processed and all that, you attract to yourself a lot of trauma, a lot of pain and suffering. So when you fast from toxic living, then you get mental, physical, and spiritual rejuvenation and clarity. And it's because it's spring, it's an even stronger level. The warmer the weather, the higher the frequency, the greater
Interesting.
the ability to heal. So this is a time when everybody should be joining us on this detox.
So now, when you say live foods, for those uninitiative, what do you mean live foods?
That's foods cooked by the sun, sunlight. Sunlight cooks it, and it cooks it through photosynthesis. And through the photosynthesis in the plants, that's what gives the plants its pigmentation, it's green. From sunlight, we get the green, the chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is one of the strongest ways to heal your body. It restores cells that are dying. So you reverse the aging process. You can become younger, whatever your age is, which means you are restoring the liver, the organs, the kidney, the bones, the joints. So having foods that have not been cooked by fire. When you cook foods and you keep, and that's your main staple of intake, it takes energy, and it takes your energy from you. So actually, the
Mhm.
more you cook, the less energy you have. The more you juice and take live foods, salads and fruits from the garden off the tree, the more vibrant and buoyant you're
Those
going
are
to
live
be,
foods.
the more mentally astute you're going to be, because you are a live being. We are live beings. And so life begets more life. And dead foods, when you cook the foods, it takes energy. That's how come oftentimes we'll eat food and we have to go to sleep. We eat food and we get tired because it's actually pulling energy from us as opposed to giving
Yeah,
us
yeah,
energy.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I don't think people really realize that. I think they have because they think they got a full stomach. Now let me lay on it, not understanding the dynamics or the consequences of what you just ate, along with
Mhm.
the normal digestive process. I understand is about 12 hours, I think, 10 to 12 hours from
Well, it
start to
depends
finish.
on what you're eating.
Ah, that makes
Right.
sense.
And actually it shouldn't take that long. But if you're eating toxicity, could take days. Sometimes it won't even be processed. It's just going to sit there. And that's what we call disease. So high blood pressure is waste that is sitting in the body. Stress, diabetes is waste that's trapped in your organs. So really, this is how it should go. I was a colon therapist for 15 years. If you have your breakfast in the morning, you're supposed to go, as you take it in, your body starts to digest and process. It uses the fuel. If there's fuel, if it's processed and junk and fast, there's no fuel there. So it would just be dead food and sitting in the body and deadening your energy level. So if you have your breakfast in the morning by 12 o'clock, you would have a bowel movement. You would flush out all the excess. So it only takes a few hours. And then if you're having real food, not processed, that's not real food, not junk food, not prepackaged food, that's not real food. A microwave, that's no longer real food. So then by 12 o'clock, you have your lunch. Before you have dinner, you would already eliminate again. Your body would take in what you bring in, process, digest, and then flush out. It's ready to flush out. So before you have your next meal, so we're eating 3 or 4 meals and nothing's coming out. So that's how we get the big abdomen and we get the love handles and we get tired all the time. We wake up sleepy, we go to sleep sleepy. We go to sleep, at night we're wiped out. Morning time we're wiped out. We're just tired all day long. And it's
Yeah,
because
yeah.
waste is
Seriously.
sitting in your organs and debilitating and draining you
So you're saying we should have at least the average human should have at least 2 or 3 flushes at the bathroom per day,
every day.
every
Right?
day.
And what happens if you have 3 meals a day after 7 days, that's 21 meals. You're supposed to have 21 eliminations. So if you're having only one meal for the day, but you're having 21 meals at the end of the week, only 14 meals are backed up in your system. And that
Wow.
translates into cancer, high blood pressure, quick to anger, uncontrollable emotions, fibroid tumors, prostate cancer. All that it creates what we call disease, that waste in the system. Cancer of the colon is the second highest form of cancer in the United States. Why? Because everyone is this fast food generation. We grab, we go.
Mhm.
We eat while we're walking. You know, we eat and lay down on the food. So we have to really change our habits. And we could have such great access to a wealth of health. You have a wealth of health, that means that you have mental clarity, you have stamina, you're able to move as quickly as in your 50s as you did in your 20s, because life is constantly regenerating itself. But if we're constantly eating foods that are not real food that we call because we eat it, we consider that food. But real food gives you nourishment, gives you vitality. Real food gives you clarity. So we're not eating real food. That's why we're having all the issues. And that's why our spring cleaning is a good way to really launch the rest of the year into the highest level, the highest frequency.
Well, you know what's interesting, Queen Afua? They talk about processed foods. Now the newest word is ultra processed foods, which means they've added some ultra extra ingredients in there
Yeah. But
artificially.
yeah, absolutely. It's like when they refried beans, even to refry your beans, just to fry it. Because when you eat oily, when you take the oil and you put that on the stove and you put your food to the oil, it becomes carcinogenic. Because and then it's toxic, it won't be processed. And then it starts to leave a layer of film in the arteries. So that's a heart attack. When you have layers and layers of accumulation around the heart, boom, a heart attack. Because it's clogged up, the arteries are clogged up. So what you end up getting, if you can make it to the hospital and you're still alive, you'll get a stent. So they'll clear out the artery, they'll put a stent like a straw to open up that
Yeah,
organ
stent
to the
in the
heart.
heart. Yeah, yeah,
Right. Or to the
definitely.
brain. You know, all of a sudden you're having a aneurysm or chronic headaches. And that's just because the arteries all clogged up with junk and process and fast and eat and lay down on your food. Hmm.
Now, I understand you started because we started out back in the day at the Tree of Life bookstore or the University or UCLA, which is on the corner of Lenox Avenue, which is the Tree of Life. But at that time, you were going through some health changes, and actually, it was that
Yeah.
led you on your journey that you are on now. Would I be correct or something like that?
No, absolutely. And you know, the amazing, but I just learned that you were already doing it. You know, I was 16, 17. I was coming to the Tree of Life. I would sneak away from Brooklyn. My parents didn't even know I was going to Harlem, but I was going there to go to this Tree of Life. And what was it? It was about education, re-education. It was
Yeah,
teaching us how to eat, be healthy. It was reminding us how it was in the beginning of time when we were vibrant, we were kings and queens, and we were
yeah,
vibrant and powerful. And you were one of those teachers. You were there early on, educators, and you are a beacon of health and well-being. You know, but you have some ways that you are living that's giving you that longevity. It's not a secret. And so by you being there when I came as a teen, I said, wow. And I just learned that. So, you know, I'm just honored to be in your presence that you've been able to wake up so early and
yeah,
maintain throughout the years.
yeah.
How
Well,
many men have lived your age? I don't, it's not a lot.
yeah, well, one of the things about being in that environment when you got people like Dr. Moore that taught you about
Oh,
herbs and
yes. And
all
Kanye.
yeah,
Yeah, it was a
Kanye
lot of the
and
great ones.
John
John
Harris.
Harris.
Yeah, all of those people and it was John Harris that kept saying, "Brother, when are you putting that book out?" And I said, what?" But it was because of it. And so now when I teach certain students, I'll say, I think it's time for you to write a book. And so I can almost tell who have the ability to take it to the next level in terms of studying this ancient African science. Definitely, definitely.
But you know what? I also, because of the Tree of Life, there was a retreat. I don't know if you was at that retreat. That was upstate. It was a bus load of us, maybe 40 of us. Went upstate. It was a 3-day healing retreat, and that came out of the Tree of Life. And
Yes,
that's were you at that? Did you go on that trip?
yes, I went to one because Dr. Moore, he had such a robust voice that even though we were outside, you would think he was on the microphone. It was the most amazing thing. He just had one of those kind of voices, and he knew how to identify barks and leaves and things that you and I would just
Amazing.
walk past, and he would tell you what it's about. And he was a hobo too, because he used to tell me that what
Mhm.
hobos would do um, would actually put cayenne pepper in their shoes during the winter to keep their feet warm.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Little
Yes.
things that he was sharing with us, survival for those who live in
Wow.
the street and stuff like that. So
Mm.
it was just very, very nice. And then
Yeah.
you yourself went on to write some books yourself too, Queen of Afua.
What's that?
I said you yourself went on to write some books too. In fact, this is your first book, if memory serves me correct. This is the Bible.
Well, that was in
Or-
my first book. My first book is Heal Thyself for Health and Longevity. At that time, it was a little green book. And of course, I was inspired by the Tree of Life. I was inspired by Dr. John Moore, Master Herbalist, and
Yep.
all the healers that was on that retreat. I took on that as a way of life. So the first book I wrote was actually Heal Thyself because I had to heal myself. And I took the principles. And I was inspired by Dick Gregory and his book and his family
Yeah.
healing.
Yeah.
And I started to heal myself and become certified in this work. And then later, years later, I wrote the book Sacred Woman. And that's because I was always for the family. A whole family needs to heal because we're impacted by each other. But
Hmm.
the women were the ones who were coming for most of the healing. 80%, 85% was women was coming for the healing. And so as a result, I started to get a lot of information and I started to research deeper about the original woman and what she did and how she lived. And so that brought out Sacred Woman. And that book is a phenomenon. Even the Random House is still a #1 seller. So I'm
Well,
grateful for
because
that.
you published that book in 98, it was at 80 something or 90 something.
You talking about Sacred Woman?
Yes.
No, second one came out in 2000, and I credited you because you told me. You said the #2 is the number of women,
Yeah.
and because I was talking to you about the Sacred Woman book, and so yes, it came out in 2000, and then it had a resurgence. It's an anniversary book, and that came out in 2020 again, and then I added 2 more chapters, one on birthing your work, your purpose, because I know, and one of the ways in which we can stay healthy is to find why we're here. I believe that's where you also come in.
That's
Why
true.
are you here on this planet? What did you come to do? If you don't discover that, you're going to be sick. Even if you take the herbs and you do the cleansing, part of your well being is to know why you're here and then to raise your vibration high enough to now to live out and make a living from your purpose.
Good.
And the cleansing will help you to do that because you'll get clear. You'll be able to see.
Okay. We must have lost the sound a second. It went in and out. But that's, can you hear me, Queen Afua? See. You're mute. You got to unmute your mic. You got to unmute your mic. There you
Okay.
go. There
Can you
you go.
hear me?
Yes, I hear
I,
you now.
I I
Yes, I
can't
hear
hear
you
him.
now. I hear you very
Tell
clearly.
him.
So as you were saying now,
Mm-hmm.
can you hear
Look at
me?
his on.
Yes, you can hear me, Queen Afua. Queen Afua, I I can
You
hear
can
you.
hear me? I
Yes,
cannot.
yes.
I can't hear you. Give me a
Really?
minute. We're working it out.
Okay, good enough. Good enough. Now, while we're working it out, if anybody got any questions specifically directed for Queen Afua, her detox program that starts on March the 30th, please chime in. I
Hold
do
on, come
see a
back.
number of you have acknowledged Queen Afua as a guest. But if you got any questions about things of that nature, Queen Afua, are you still with us? I mean, I know you're still with us. Can you hear us? Okay, well, while she's getting that straight, let me do this. This is Eddie Hendricks, and he says, what's my lucky days and numbers? And they are born July the 18th. So they're lucky numbers. I hope she'll be right back with us. Your numbers, Eddie, would be the 9, 6, and 3, and Fridays, Thursdays, and Tuesdays actually first, then Friday, then Thursdays would always be your best days. You want to know about your wife? Y'all have the 6 as in common as her numbers are the 6, 2, and 7. So if y'all got married somewhere around May or October or on a day that adds up to the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th, that would not surprise me at all. All right. And so for her, this is her year where she is going to go back to school, lose weight, do her hair. For you, this is a cycle where dreams will come true. I think I am back with Sister Queen Afua. All righty. Okay, we got it.
Here, I hear you. You hear me.
Good, good, good. That's the main thing.
Mhm.
So I was asking for those who have questions. Most of them have readings. Let me ask you this. You know, people don't think, Elijah Muhammad once had a book called Eat to Live, How to Eat
How
to
to eat
Live.
to live. Yes.
Yes. And people think that when they're eating, they are living, and yet some of the junk food, for lack of a better way of we putting it, is actually debilitating us rather than building us up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what I don't understand is how come these things are happening not unless is planned, not less is,
Well,
because for example, I know,
it is. I mean, the food is set up to be more addictive, and we're eating out of emotions and some marketing. We're being trained how to think, and some of the marketing is actually creating a desire. And so, just one thing I know for sure: the sugar is one of the leading factors in getting addictive to the wrong foods, but also emotionally and culturally, because it's not the sugar is one thing. The sugar is a few molecules away from crack and cocaine, so it's in a small dose, or maybe, but the more you have, the more you need, the more you crave, and you'll come back eating because you want that sweet. I mean, it's gotten so bad that they're putting sugar in the soil, and that's how you get like canned cotton candy grapes. I mean, when
are you
I
serious?
well,
Really? I've seen cotton candy grapes.
mm-hmm,
I didn't know
yeah,
what the process was, but I
the
know this:
sugar.
a
Mm-hmm.
whole lot of things now in cans or whatnot, especially, have elements of salt and elements of sugar or both.
Sugar, exactly. And so everybody's craving, they think that they really want it. They don't necessarily want it. It's just it's now latched onto your cells. And so now you need it. Just like if you took any drug, you start off small, smoking a cigarette. You start with one, you go to two, and you keep increasing it. So the same thing with the food. And that's why many times people are obese, but it's not like they're healthy because they're eating a lot of food. It's not, it was called empty calories, which means it has no value. So if you have a relationship that has no value, it's going to cause you harm. If you have food that has no value, it's going to cause you harm. And then that's what we call disease. So how do we even break that addiction? Well, I do have some formulas to help to break the addiction, because the addiction is in the bloodstream. If you clean out the blood, you can clean out the addiction. So I
Hmm.
have created a formula called Master Herbal Formula. It comes with the 21-day detox or the 7-day detox. And what it does is it goes into the blood through the red clover, thank you, the echinacea, the dandelion. It begins to detoxify. This is the formula, the Master Herbal. And you take 3 cups every day and boil at night, turn the flame off, let it steep overnight. And more times a herbal medicine. What I'm looking at the compound and the label, and I was remembering Dr. Moore. He used to talk about cardiacra and protecting
Yeah,
your immune
Acadiacra.
system. Oh
Yep,
yes, and
yep,
the dandelion root. So
yep.
these are some of the herbs I just continue from the teachings, and I saw that it is of great value. Even the dandelion alfalfa. There was a clinic in Harlem. I don't remember the name of the clinic, but it was a clinic in Harlem that some of the acupuncturists back in the day, they were giving herbal formulas to help to detoxify us off of drugs. And then, speaking with my daughter, she said, that a lot of your clients was on drugs because they're talking about what they did then, and they came to see me to cleanse. But it wasn't just cleansing from food. Some was cleansing from dangerous
From
drugs.
addictions too. Yes, yes,
What's that?
definitely. No, I said they were also cleansing from addictions.
That's what exactly. And also addictive relationships. Sometimes we're in relationships that are very toxic and they're in our bloodstream, particularly if you're intimate with someone that you're looking for that person again. If not even in that one, you'll get another relationship because you are now addicted to that frequency, which is your own reflection. So when you start the detox, everything begins to shift. Your mind shifts, how you think about yourself, if you're able to be thankful, or if you're able to forgive your parents because they did what they could do, the best they could do. But if you're holding all that animosity and it's in your bloodstream, you're going to keep creating more animosity in your life. And it goes passed on through generations. So the generational curse, we could end much of that by detoxing and cleansing the body and rejuvenating on a consistent level. And we'll clean out on a
Question:
DNA level. Hmm.
Do men also go through this? You were talking about sometime women going through intimate situations or relationships that are toxic. I would assume that would be for men also, right?
No, this is for family. The healing is for a family, a healthy family.
Okay.
So the men, this is for the men as well as the women. The green life is going to rejuvenate our memory, both women and men, and boost up our immune system, protect us from sickness. This is our green life formula, for example. Now, this is a brain food, a cell rejuvenator, a muscle builder. So just having that 3 times a day, when you come out of your 21 days, you are restored. So this is for our men to restore our men and the women. And so that means this green light form is going to restore the prostate. Some of our men who are dying of prostate cancer because they're eating hamburgers and french fries and junk and over the counter. And over years, the body will begin to deteriorate. So you can actually clean out the prostate and repair. So this is an excellent one for that, and protect your immune system while you're doing that. So each formulation, it's 6 formulations, and what they all do, they cover 103 diseases. So if
Wow.
you're if you're working with your lifestyle, holistic lifestyle, which is what I teach, and what the recipes from the various chefs will join in, and then you're working with food as medicine. So you have the lifestyle, you have the formulations, you're working in communities, you're being educated by master teachers, all who have been living a holistic lifestyle. You have examples. Then there's nothing that can stop us from elevating ourselves as a people. There's a health disparity, and Black folks, African American, Caribbean people, we're suffering from it the greatest in all people across the board. We have the highest incidence of diabetes. It's unnecessary. We have to change our diet. Even adding string bean juice, that's a natural insulin, into your food 3 or 4 times a week. For those who have kidney issues, adding cucumber, watercress, parsley into your juices 2 or 3 times a week. That could begin to help restore your kidneys. So maybe you won't need to be on that dialysis. It's also about prevention. You're not. It's this is about you. Want to, if you look at your family, you can pretty much see where you're going to go. If what is diabetes in your family, high blood pressure in your family, erectile dysfunctions in the men don't talk about it. They're not going
Yeah.
to talk about it. They just going to
No.
suffer in
No.
silence, and they leave their bodies in their 40s and 50s. And that is an unnecessary, departure when you can repair and rejuvenate.
And do something about it, because
And
of all of them.
absolutely
That's the
empower
this.
yourself, and really take your health back. It is up to you, and you can do it, and we can do it collectively easier than trying to do it by yourself. Read a book and pick up some herbs. How many of us have filled up our cabinets with herbs and vitamins, and we start for a week and we fall off? That's where the community comes in. When we work together, that's how we're going to be most effective.
Now, didn't you have an ascension event recently?
Yes, actually, we graduated 60 women and 20 some
Wow.
men. Man Heal Thyself, Sacred Woman. It was in LA. The whole ceremony was here in LA. And we, everyone now who is going through the training, they know how to take care of themselves and their families. So now they not take care of their children, because when you change yourself, everybody's connected to you, your blood, your family, your friends. So when they see you getting healthier, more vibrant, more positive attitude, mental clarity, not so quick to anger, they're gonna say, wait a minute, something in what you're doing. I think I need to join that. So that's what I'm actually seeing. I'm seeing families really take on the well-being.
But I think that's good, because really everything does start with the family. Although nowadays it's almost as if a family unit is more discouraged than encouraged. But still, the basic of all things is a family unit among the animal species, or as well as human beings. It
Mhm.
seems to be the natural occurrences of things versus the way it's projected now, that people get people think they don't need anybody. I don't need you. You don't need me. And yet we're all in the same boat together. And I think we all need each other once we kind of come to
Yeah,
our
when somebody
senses.
says, I don't need you, that's just hurt. They're just so hurt and so disappointed because everyone's energy basically around them is so low. They cannot support each other. They cannot come to each other's aid. They don't have enough to share, to give, to help, to support. So when your energy is low, everyone around you is going to reflect yourself. Now, when you start taking better care and start living according to nature's guide, then all of a sudden your frequency, your energy goes up. And then you begin to meet other people who are on the same energy field. And then
Sure.
they're more helpful, more supportive, more caring, more loving, more forgiving. So literally you start to transmute out of the negative energy and come to your highest self, where there is really heaven on earth, but it's not from outside, it's from inside. There's peace on earth, but it's not from outside, it's from inside. So how you change your family, your community, your this world is making a shift. You know, that man in the middle, that woman, that
Yeah.
man in the mirror,
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael Jackson, that was a
And you
powerful
got
story.
to, so in other words, you got to start with inside of yourself.
Right.
That's where everything starts at.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I guess, that makes sense because sometimes we're so codependent on other people for love or other things like that, not understanding that everything starts within. Because
Absolutely.
I've told people you can run from people, but you cannot run from yourself. That's the only person.
Well, people do try to run from themselves, and that's why they get numbed out. They numb out, so they don't feel how bad it is inside of themselves. So that's where the drugs, come into the community, and people, get alcohol to numb out every Friday when they're drunk. They don't want to feel how bad it is, but they don't. They think that that's it. So now they say, oh my gosh, everybody is sick, everybody's depressed, everybody on that low level. So it is depressing and it's sad, and you're in the victim state of consciousness. But when you start to heal, then you don't have to suppress it. You can begin
Yeah.
to let it go. So we even do healing baths, and we do exercise, and we do breathing exercise. All of this to let go of the pain from the past. What we
Well,
can do with the past is we can grow from it, but not to dwell and be hurt and be burdened with it. We can grow out of it.
it's interesting. Back in the 80s, this gentleman out of Brooklyn, Jimmy Carson, Um, in fact, they made a movie and a book called The Education of Sonny Carson. But Sonny Carson, it came to the radio station where I was working at the time, and he said there was a new drug about to be introduced into our community called crack. The
Mm,
first time I ever heard that word came from out the mouth of Sonny Carson out of
wow.
Brooklyn. Now, fast forward, I'm hearing that things are now laced with fentanyl. I guess that's the 21st century version of crack. And they said this
Mm,
fentanyl is just as addictive and make people do all kinds of things that's out of character with their normal way of
mhm,
doing things. So I'm just wondering, is because of our conditions or because of our lack of it, that we're more susceptible to falling victims to these things that wind up being more addictive than readily helpful, more addictive and destructive than anything.
Well, it's short term recovery. If it's not real recovery, it just makes you not feel it. But it's only temporary because then the feelings compound. When you come out of it, you feel twice anxious, more
Yeah,
stress. So then you want more medication over the counter, in the back, in the alley. You want more of the same thing because the depression is greater, and it just keeps growing like a monster inside. It doesn't stop. So you can get to a point where you say, I'm losing my mind. And people get violent. And a lot of people are in jail because they just couldn't control themselves. They're out of control. And that's when they just keep spinning out, keep numbing, and keep going deeper into your state of violence, self-violence. Some young people, they're cutting their arms, they're cutting their bodies, they're beating up
yeah.
couples or fighting within the family, causing the children to be totally frightened. So we do have to address our stress level, our mental level. And one of the ways to do it is to really feed the brain and feed the nervous system. And you can't just stop taking the drugs without help. That's where the detox comes in. You need support and help to actually break the cycle and
Mhm.
constantly check and balance. Accountability partners, that's a part of it. And working together so that you have us to talk, we could talk to each other, we could talk you through. And then you feel stressed, you'll take a warm bath and you put some aromatherapy in the bath and your Dead Sea salt or Epsom salt, and you'll soak a lot of that stress out. And how you would act under a stressful situation is going to be totally different. You'll be able to think before you act. And then you rest on that and you sleep and your body's knitting. You're going to higher grade. Every time you go to sleep and you wake up, you're a notch up higher. So where you might have been stressed out 100%, and about a few days, now you're stressed out maybe 75%. Then you do another, you do a week to that, and now you're only stressed out 50%. And then you go into the second week, and then now only 20%. And you get to the third week, 21 days, and you don't feel that stress. You see it come, you say, oh, I know this is, you can now separate yourself from it and be able to see it and say, okay, I don't have to go that road. Let me go take my master herbal. Let me nourish myself. Because this all that stress is real malnourishment. Disease is we're suffering from malnourishment and accumulation of waste.
Now, this person here, they said P. Stanley, Ocean Eyes, how to increase your iron levels naturally.
Your voice is going up and down.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, better.
Okay, because right there, as you see at the bottom of the screen, it says how to increase your iron levels naturally. It says presently they're drinking elderberry and stinging nettle.
Okay, I heard the word elderberry.
Yes, because
Say it again.
they want to increase their iron level.
Oh, okay.
So
All
they
right.
said they're drinking elderberry and stinging nettle.
Okay. Well, that, yeah, absolutely. Elderberry also boosts up the immune system, which increases the iron. Um, there's so many ways to increase the iron. It's all green. If you get a green juice a day, you're going to increase your iron, which is your stability and your strength. Taking dandelion is high in iron. Taking kale charred and you juice it fresh, it's high in iron. And you have to take organic from a natural source, which you're doing when you're taking the herbs, because if you take it in a medical form, medication in that way, the allopathic way, there will be some side effects. And one side effect is constipation. When you get constipation, the body stops releasing. And so now you have other issues that contributes. It just one thing leads into the next.
I have another one here. This is from Ebony Monique. She says, good evening. She's interested in hearing about how to improve eye health, especially the yellowing of the eyes as well as memory.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, the eye, that means the blood needs cleansing and the liver needs detoxification. So what would help that would be your echinacea is a great one. Also, again, the dandelion, taking in the spirulina from the ocean, as high the sea moss. So those are ways in which you can actually detox the liver detox. You can also take a kidney liver flush, which is simply 2 limes, a glass of warm water, and that's going to actually begin to flush you out with maybe a few drops of garlic, or one clove of garlic, or 6 to 12 drops of kaolic would help to detox the liver. Also, I have a rejuvenation clay, and you can take the clay and with a gauze the size of your palm and scoop that out and place that over the gauze, about a tablespoon, and then put that on your liver. This is the rejuvenation clay, for example. This is also good for aches and pains. Anyone who suffers many aches and pains, clay is the key. It's the zinc, the potassium, calcium, magnesium, and you can put that on the liver. Your kidneys are swelling up, and you're suffering from edema. Then you can put it on your back, on the both sides of the spine, to help to relieve the kidneys.
Jazz Aphrodite, she put your link for your detox program. I think is detoxqueenafua.com. Would that be correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Queen of Afua 21 day, or queenafua.com is straight to it. And you can
Now,
go ahead and you can register now for those who think they're ready. And I would say, if you're interested, please go ahead and register now. On the 20th, we're sending out all the kits. We're here manufacturing now. We're getting all the kits out, and you'll be ready for the 30th. Don't wait till the last minute, because you're going to end up starting late. So this is the prep. This is right now. All that you're hearing today is going to help you to prepare. Take your lime water in the morning. Take it at nighttime. That's going to detox the blood and the kidneys and the liver. Start drinking more water, so you now to flush out your system and get your circulation up. Start taking your greens and your salads, so that your colon begins to get regulated. So we're gonna wait until spring comes. You start to do the work now. You'll get your kit come. The kits will go on the 20th. You'll be ready on the 30th. And from that point, it's straight ahead. It's going to take you all the way through your spring. It's going to be a very empowering, powerful spring and the summer. And when you come out of that, all that you've been wanting to see happen for you, you're going to see it manifest. You're going to
Let
see
me ask
healthy
you this.
relationships and all. Mm-hmm.
With because I was thinking with the just the things you have to take, right? And for example, with this woman here, Queen of Afua, she was talking about your thoughts on healing autoimmune disorders.
Okay, she wants to boost up her immune system. That's what she's saying.
This is from Gabrielle Cornelius. She says, Queen of Afua, what are your thoughts on healing autoimmune disorders?
Okay, well, that, all of it is really coming from what we call food. That is because we put it in our mouth, we might consider it food. But what you're putting in your mouth is also breaking down your immune system, and it's not real food. So, if you want to boost up your immune system, then you have to let go of the animal content and move into a plant base, because the animal is what causes the high bacterial levels. And the animal content will also begin to break down on a cellular level. So what are you working for alternative? It's plant-based protein. Your beans, but you have to soak them overnight and either move them to soaking them 2 or 3 days so they can begin to sprout. And then they go from an acid to an alkaline state. So even that, you have to take the beans to a higher level for to be more digestible. Have an
Wow.
avocado. Does they take an apple a day? Have avocado a day. That's a wonderful protein. And it's filling and it lubricates the joints and it's good to regulate your colon. So it helps the whole body overall. And that will, all of that helps to build up your immune system by taking those issues out and then working with your master herbal or your green light to do that in your kit.
Well, before we take this next one, because she wanted to know about wound care, will you be talking about wound care at your event also? I guess that's all a part of the detoxing process.
Well, yes, I do have a wound care love retreat coming up. It's going to be in Atlanta. It's a 3-day intensive. I also have a Sacred Woman 3-day retreat that's going to be in Atlanta. Since that starts in March. So for those who want to really get into 21 hours with me and really shift your reality, because it's to heal your womb, it's not, you can't just take a pill. It's a lifestyle. It's a big shift of your attitude, how you feel about yourself as a woman, how well you take care of yourself is going to be, will actually tell what condition your womb is going to be. If you're going to have endometriosis, if you're going to have fibroid tumors, you're going to have vaginal cysts, if you're going to have bacteria, vaginitis coming out of the vaginal area, or attracting very toxic relationships in your life. So all of that contributes to your womb well-being or your womb disease. So yes, I'll say this: when you go on the 21-day detox, it covers a plethora of issues. Your womb is a part of your body. So
Yeah.
when you start changing your diet and come off the dairy, a lot of time we have vaginitis and infection because we just had 2 slices of cheese, or you had the yogurt, or you have
Yeah,
ice cream on
yeah,
a regular
yeah,
basis. So it's as
yeah.
above, so below. It's coming out, and your vaginal area it's actually purging it out, but a lot of it stays in, and that's where the fibroids come, the cysts, and the heavy
Well, I'm going to
bleeding.
tell you this. I'm going to tell you this, Queen. For over the years I've been doing this, I've met many women that have come to you, and all of them have talked about how you have changed their lives from colon cleanse to womb cleanse to
Yeah.
the fibroids. It's just amazing. So your reputation in that sense precedes you in terms of doing this work for the women. And I think
Mhm.
it can come from a better person because you got that kind of heart and dedication. And then Leos are almost generous to a fault anyway. But the
Mhm.
fact that you're going to be talking about the womb care, I think is very, very important.
Yeah.
Now, this person here says, where can we find Queen Afua's teachings? Could you please post the link? And in fact, please let me post the banner for you right now. I think this is you, Queen Afua. Is there anything we need to add or whatever?
She wants to know where can she find the books.
Now, your teachings. In other
Oh,
words,
well, actually, I every Monday I teach. I give an introduction to open house for sacred woman. You can just check my website for that information. I do an
and
hour
that's
power.
queenoffour.com, right?
Yes, queenoffour.com. Thank
Okay.
you. And then Tuesday, I talk about detoxing, and Wednesday, I talk about wound care love to introduce you into the way of life because it really is how we're going to live. How you live is the condition of your mind, the condition of your heart, your breast, your womb, your relationships. It's all how you're living. So I do give you an introduction and open house, and that's ongoing. But if you want to now go into deeper work and really make a lifetime shift, then it's going to be about coming to the retreat again. You can explore that on my website, queenofwood.com, on the 3-day retreat for Sacred Woman, which is in March. It's well, I think we're booked up actually for the March, but there's an opening again for May for those who want to take the rites of passage. And once you go through the 21 hours with me, then what happens, you'll go 12 weeks with my master teachers. There's 15 women who are going to be teaching this work. And every Sunday we have an hour of power. So they take you further deeper into the book and the meditation and the breath work and all of that. So that we stay close, we stay in community, and you're just not out there by yourself trying to make it work. And then for the women who want to take on their womb works, they can also do the same. But everyone, a good start. That retreat is in April, and I would say start off getting the book and order your book now at Amazon.com and get your copy and begin to bring it to class on Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and I'll go into read this, read that, and you'll start to get acclimated. But those who are serious and have been trying to get to their healing, there's no better time than right now. There's no better time because really the spring is for detoxing and releasing. That's why it's called spring cleaning. And
Yeah.
this is the time that we do it. So be in time with the season that we're coming into. And this is a call out for those who want to do a 21-day spring detox. Join me, join all these wonderful practitioners and make your life a whole new way, come into a new way, a new beginning. And as you get better and healthier, then everyone around you will reflect. So a lot of the suffering that we're going through is unnecessary. But we're addicted. We're addicted to a toxic lifestyle. So if you're locked in, this detox will help to unlock you, unblock you, and make you and help you to move forward.
I need to ask you a question. You had mentioned shortly, just briefly, about drinking lime water in the morning and evening. Now, I've always heard of lemon water, but you drink lime water, that's just as
Either
effective
way, you could take lemons, you could take limes, you can take cider vinegar.
in the
Okay, you can
morning,
take lemons, you
in the
could take.
morning and in the evenings.
What's that?
You can take this in the morning and the evening,
And
I
the
take it,
evening is
right?
best. In the morning time, the mucus will start coming out. You'll be able to breathe better, clearer. Then you could take it again at night. So while you're sleeping, the congestion, because mucus doesn't start and congestion doesn't start like what you just had last night or a few days or weeks ago. It's actually accumulative from what you were eating as a little child, from a teenage, all the pizzas and the hamburgers and the french fries. And then as a young person, a steak dinner here, some junk food there. And over the time, all of that accumulates. So something so simple as lime or lemon juice or cider vinegar and warm water will allow those years of mucus. So it's like it becomes your way. You don't do it just when you get well, you do it to stay well as well.
That's a preventive approach.
Yes, it's about prevention.
Now, this person here, Black Collar TV, says they believe the two most dangerous food items we should stay away from are butter and sugar. What do you think? Now, I know you mentioned about the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah.
about
Oh,
the
the butter.
butter?
Well, the butter is just think about your pipes in your house. If you have a lot of grease in them, you can't the food gets trapped. So it's like the butter is going to trap waste in the arteries. So that means blood is going to sit there, can't get through, nourishment cannot go through. So then your organs begin to die. So it will age the body very quickly because your organs will not be able to get the nourishment from the food, so it clogs everything up.
Wow.
You got to clear out your pipes, and that's where the limes, the lemons, the cider vinegar acts like roto-rooter to the body. It just cuts all that through. so that oxygen can get through and energy and nourishment can get through to feed that organ and to keep that organ healthy. So butter is a debilitator. So I would say instead of using butter, use your olive oil, cold pressed olive oil. And it's all about the seasoning. So you put your cumin, you put your sage, you put your dill. That gives the flavor. But you want that lubricating feeling. Then you work with the olive oil, and that gives you longevity.
I have this person here, and by the way, Lakita Marie, thank you so much for the donation. She says she's grateful for what you contribute, Queen Afua. How can she participate in the fast?
Um, well, it's a natural living journey. You can do a fast. Everyone will do some fasting, and when the sun goes down, like I said earlier, well, you can register now. queenoffood.com. Just come on, you can register, and we'll start processing you. The thing about this is going to give you everything, so much of what you need. You're also going to get a virtual training. And the virtual training is going to, I have 21 recipes that I also prepared in the kitchen. So you get the 21 recipes I have, the 12 recipes from your practitioners, the vegan chefs, and then you're going to get how to set up your hydrotherapy room. So your hydrotherapy, you get a chance to really de-stress everything. What you're angry about, what somebody did in 2000 and got angry about what somebody did in 2010, and you'll just keep building up. It's like you're building up waste in the body from the food that is toxic. You're also building up a lot of emotional baggage. And that
Hmm.
emotional baggage will weigh down your heart, will weigh down your nervous system, will weigh down your mind. When the organs start dropping because of emotion, then you eat the emotional food. We call it comfort food, but it's not giving
Yes,
us any comfort.
right,
You
right.
know, it's all connected.
We think we giving it comfort,
Yes,
but
they call it comfort, but it doesn't give comfort. It actually ages you and debilitates
now
and
what I want
suffocates you,
suffer.
literally.
Hmm. That's interesting. All the problems that we have. So to be a minority in this country, we are majority when it comes to the ills, heart attacks, high blood
Yeah,
pressure, cancers, diabetes, obesity. You know what I'm saying? So it's those are the things that get us. But let me tell you this: this is for the event that Queen Afua is having coming up March the 30th through April 27th, and one of her guests will be Erica Badu, who is a Pisces, and her son is named Seven. In fact, she posted a reel that I did on 2023 about the seven. But this is the powerhouse that's going to be presenting themselves during this period of the week. And the gentleman at the top right, he did a major piece in The Secret. Remember that was out a couple of years ago?
absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
He had locks, so someone not would not recognize him. He had
Yeah,
locks.
no, no, but I was gonna say he had a head full of hair at that time, but
Yeah.
hey, things
Uh-huh.
change over time. But Queen
Hmm.
Afua, I want to thank you very, very much because you've
Thank
had a
you.
busy day. When I called you, just had a whole presentation with doctors and whatnot, and you got
Yes, actually, it was a team of physicians who actually I did a presentation. They were gathered together by a sacred woman. Her name is Chanel Poole. She has been a not-for-profit master for the last 15 years. And so she has the physicians, she gathered them, a top surgeon in the industry, two psychologists, OBGYN, a pediatrician. So they all sat with me and they wanted to discover, how do I work? How am I successful with the people that I've been able to reach? Do I have a special method? Because someone said, the psychologist said, well, we do tell them how to eat healthier, but it's not quite catching. I said, because you don't have a full program based around it.
yeah,
You're giving like a
yeah.
general, make sure you drink more water. It's so general. It doesn't, but it's no programming to deprogram them from a toxic way of eating. So they just say, okay, fine. They go back and eat the same things that they got the issues from. So there's this they're in a cycle they can't get out of. So I said, because my program is so comprehensive, I'd set up your whole house by educating you. I'd tell you how to shop for healthy foods, proper food combination. I give you other healers to support you on your quest. So it's a lot of show and tell. It's literally coaching you through. You get coached all the way through. So
I
it's a
am
difference.
I am surprised that physicians of all people, because they are. anything that's not um, in the way of medical and chemicals and things like that, any allopathic, homeopathic, those things are normally not encouraged. So I will like to ask you this: after your presentation to them, what did they think? What were their thoughts?
Well, the presentation, actually, this is the time it's really allopathic medicine and holistic medicine to really say to people it has to come together at some point, right? People are leaving medical and they're going holistic, but they're hitting and missing. So they still end up having problems because they don't know what to do quite and how to make it all work. And they haven't been fully educated. So they just drop everything. And some of them in such a crisis, they don't take the medication, but they haven't changed their diet enough to make a difference. So what I do
Interesting.
is I work with them. I said, okay, if you're seeing your physician, continue. And then after a month, the doctor, they go back to their physician. That's how many Dr. Sheridan ended up coming together because so many of her patients were improving. And I never said you have to stop seeing your physician. He'll get your examination, all of that. And then every month she would see an improvement. And then she started to cut back on their medication. This is way before we met each other because there was improvement. They had a diabetic count was up, it starts going down. The high blood pressure was up, it starts going down, and all of that. So that's how they come off of the medication without going from one extreme to the next because it's a transition. You have to change your habits, and habits are not easy to change. So you need
No,
guidance. You need to get your formulations. You need to be consistent. You have a check off and a journal that you maintain, you keep so that you can see the progress and the difference. So I've been doing this particular detox for the last 41 years. So I've mastered it. I know what it takes to help
and you've
someone
mastered it
overcome.
well. You've
Hmm?
mastered it well, and that's all I can say. But anyway, I do want to thank you so
Thank
much
you. Thank
for
you so much. Thank you so
coming
much
out.
for all your support throughout the years.
Oh, listen, I
And you
will always
continue.
support you throughout the years. So this is the uh, this is the event that's taking place on the 30th, okay,
Yes.
of next month, and that's right around the corner. This will be some of the many people that will be presenting, including me, yours truly. And I'm very honored you would even ask me to participate. And of course, I think everybody in the world of music and entertainment and the arts and whatnot knows this lady, Erica Baidu. And
Mhm.
this is one of your many books. And this is your latest book, am I correct? I think when I had you on, this was your latest book that you published.
Oh yeah, that's my latest book, Impeccable Listening. That is a whole. And actually, I give the story when I went to that retreat because that was my first experience of really when I was a teenager. Impeccable listening. I was told the asthma kicked in when I got that bus. And I didn't have my medication. I was 16, 17. The asthma, the allergies, I was scratching, I was wheezing, my eyes went bloodshot, red. I said, I had my first question because the impeccable listening is to first ask, listen, and then act. And I said, what am I going to do in my desperate state? And I heard the voice, take lemons, grapefruits, and oranges. I looked to the left and there was a bowl of fruit because we dropped our bags in the kitchen. And there were
Mhm.
oranges and grapefruits and lemons, and there was rosehip tea, which is vitamin C. And that's what I did for 24 hours, the whole day. The next day, all this mucus and congestion came out of my body. So I totally am at one with the process of detoxing and cleansing the body to get yourself back. And I
And
did,
don't
and I've
forget,
been on it
you were
since.
16 then. You
Yeah.
were just 16 then. So
Yeah.
imagine a mature adult that's gone through life at a certain point in their life and used to eating the way that they have. I would say this may explain why so many people are not in the best of shape the way they should be, especially for their age groups, I would say.
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to thank you, Queen Afua, and
Thank you.
very much. And listen, anything I can do for you, you let me know. All righty.
Thank you. You're already doing it. I appreciate you to the utmost. Thank you, Lord.
Anyway, thank you. So
Numbers
I'm
in
gonna
you.
thank
You're the
you.
one.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you. All
So
right. Be well.
I want to thank Queen Afua very much. She is really a very dynamic sister that I've been knowing, and her and Iyanla and all these people. You name it, Phil Valentine, all of these are what we call back in the day people. But I want to let you know that this week's show has been brought to you by the Sisterhoods of the Traveling Spreads. They were going to have the event this Sunday, but they're going to have it the following Sunday coming up instead, on March the 5th. So that means you still got time to register at lemonuniversity.com and sign up for that. And by the way, you know, last Monday, a week ago, I've had Jackie Levine on talking about a book. Well, this is her book. I saw it and I mean, it's nice. I don't have my book yet, but I will get mine, believe me. But for those of you who want to order the book, there are limited editions. Okay. And pre-order, if you pre-order now, you get 10%. Don't wait until you go down the road and then think later on. No, this is a very limited book. That's why I'm getting mine now. By the way, speaking of that, my courses are on sale. As you know, last week or 2 weeks ago, they were $24 at the top price. Now it's $19. So you don't even have an excuse not to get it. It is on sale today and tomorrow. You need to go to my website, lloyd-strayhorn.com, in order to purchase the courses. Just get them there at the discount. Just go there, sign up for the free monthly newsletter. February is a wrap. March will be coming out soon, so sign up for that. That's free. Also, for those of you who would like to listen to some of the shows as against view them on these platforms, you can go to my website, lloyd-strayhorn.com, and click on the podcast that Miss Williams had put up for me. And I mean, it's great. The response has been great. The people are listening from different parts of the world. It's absolutely amazing. So listen to the podcast. That's on my Live with lloyd-strayhorn.com website, my newsletter, my online course. I think the sale is over tomorrow, so please don't wait to the last minute thinking, well, and by the way, this is Jackie Levine's book that she was talking about. It is now out, now available, but it is an limited edition. So what I'm saying is y'all can fool around, but I think you need to take advantage while there's still some in stock. And again, this week's show is brought to you by the Sisterhoods of the Traveling Spread with Nina Diamond, Jackie Levine, excuse me, and Aquarius Maximus, and others too. So that's going to be this week. So everybody, I want to thank you very, very much. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. All righty. And I'm going to have a surprise guest. Since it's a new month, I'm going to have a whole new set of people too. So I think you're going to find it very interesting. So everybody, I want to thank you very much. I want to thank again Sister Queen Afua for being on the show tonight. And I'll see you in a couple of days, okay? No, I'll see you next month, March. Bye.